Always have to check in with Cindy Carava every couple months or so, the longtime sponsor of That's What G Said podcast. She is a full service realtor. And that means if you need anything in the world of real estate, she can help you out. Anything at all, honestly, buying, selling, leasing. If you need to upgrade your current home and you're looking to connect with certain types of vendors, gardeners, landscapers, painters, she can check that box for you. If you need help with the loan process, she'll connect you with the right type of lenders. That'll make things a little bit easier for you there. And look at that smile, one of the kindest and most genuine people you will ever meet. So, Cindy, now everybody knows how you can help them, but we always like to check in to kind of talk about some specifics, see how things have changed in the last couple months with the market overall. How are you doing? And talk to us about how things are going in your world.
Hi, Gino. It's so good to be on your show again. I always love bringing value to your clients and your listeners, as well as, just the general public. So things are good. Things are really good. Just had a great Halloween with some friends and looking forward to the holidays coming up, and always gets to be a little bit crazy time of year, but everything is great. So, yeah, I mean, to answer your question, things are a little different now in the real estate market. So honestly, we kind of talked a little bit off air about this. Is probably one of the biggest questions I get is, or actually statements is, people come up to me and say, I'm just going to wait right now with the real estate market. I'm just going to wait it out because it's going to crash. The market's going to crash like it did in 2008. And honestly, you're going to be waiting for a long time. It's not going to be crashing. And I want to share that with you, everybody, all the viewers and all the listeners out there, that, we're not going to see a crash. And there's three reasons why. One of them is it used to be back in, 2008 and, 2007, 2008, it was super easy to get a loan. Gino, literally, if you had a black shirt on, you got a loan. It's kind of, you have a black shirt on today.
I was gonna say, good thing that I'm wearing, yeah. But
yeah.
But unfortunately, like you're gonna say, that's back to the future, right? That's not the case anymore.
No,
nowadays,
definitely not the case. It is much harder to get a loan because the lending standards are a lot tighter, and so for a good reason too. So we're not going to see people getting bad loans out there anymore, which is really good. The second reason why we are not going to be in a market or a housing crash is because 2008, 2009, 2007, there was a ton of homes on the market during that time. And remember what we said in earlier, podcasts was, a healthy market, we should have about a 6-month supply of homes for sale. During 2007, 2008, when things went haywire, we had a 10-month supply of homes on the market. So way higher than the normal healthy market. So that's why we had a huge crash. There were so many homes on the market. Currently right now, we've got about a 3-month supply. So we are still historically low on inventory and what is on the market right now. So definitely a difference of what it was when it did crash. We had a huge amount of homes on the market then. We do not now. So we are not going to see the same results as we did. And the third reason that why we're not going to have a housing market crash like everybody's talking about is because homeowners now have so much equity in their homes. So if they, lose a job, unfortunately, or something shifts in their life where they have to sell, they can sell and they can still make money. The percentage of people that don't have equity in their homes from when they bought, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, is so minimal. So we're going to see a lot less foreclosures in the market than when before COVID, when they were kind of predicting what was going to be happening in the next few years. So those three things alone, are definitely why we're not going to see a housing crash or a market crash.
And that's a real key thing because, right, it's all of these variables that came together to create the crash at the same time, where you have bad loans that were given out and then a ton of houses that are out there available for those bad loans. Like all these things that sort of add up together to create that crash, that none of those are happening.
None of those exist right now.
Not even individually, let alone all together where they were like 15 years ago or so when that happened.
Exactly. And, and I know everyone says, well, the experts are predicting this and their experts, are predicting that. Well, that's great. But remember, when you're hearing those headlines on the news at night, or you're reading that in your local newspaper, remember those statements are across the country. You have to know what is local to your market, because I can definitely tell you a lot of states are affected by what is happening in the market right now. And, it is cooling. The market is cooling. It is not the frenzy that it was the last year to 2 years. California, we've been okay, what I mean? But I can definitely tell you that homes in Arizona, homes in Nevada, especially around Las Vegas, homes in Florida, homes in Idaho, Colorado, Utah, Texas for sure. Those areas, they are, they are seeing, a different market there. But like I said, you've got to take those headlines you're seeing in the news and the headlines you're reading in the newspaper with a grain of salt, because they are giving an average over the entire country, not for the local market. So always keep that in mind when you're reading that.
And what's nice, Cindy, too, just to not to interrupt, but what's nice, you specialize in California and in Southern California, but I was just going through some of your social media posts earlier, and I always like to point out to everyone that, just like you were saying, you have connections all over, and you have feelers and a really good pulse on what things are like everywhere. So if it's a place that you can help someone. If not, you can put them in touch with someone in that area who can answer any questions that they have and give them very accurate information.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Because you're right. I'm only licensed in the state of California. So I actually just recently had a client that lives here close to me in Glendora, and he wanted to buy an investment property in Arizona. And of course, A, I can't sell there because I'm not licensed there, but B, I don't know the market there. So I put him in touch with one of my good friends and a RE/MAX agent in the Phoenix area of Arizona, and they actually just closed escrow on a house. So you're right, Gino, no matter where you are in the country, where you are in the world, I have friends and colleagues all over that can help my clients. And obviously, I want to put my clients or anybody, in the best hands, as possible. And if it's not here in California, it's somewhere else, that's totally fine. I can hook them up, no problem anywhere. So that's really great to know for sure. Thank you. So anyway, what I was going to say is, like I said, as we all are seeing kind of this, this cooling market, it doesn't mean that we have to be afraid of what's going on or afraid to act upon it, because there is some good news. So yay, let's get to the good news here, So if you're thinking about selling, it is basically still a really, really good time to sell, especially during the holidays, because I will tell you why. You are not competing with a lot of other sellers out there. Most sellers don't want to put their houses on the market because with the holidays coming, they're like, I've got family coming in, or I'm going to be out of town, stuff like that.
Wait till after the new year. How many people say that about everything, right?
Exactly.
We all say, well, wait till after the new year.
Yeah. And you know what? If you wait till after the new year, you're going to be competing with everybody else. Mm-hmm. And you may not get that top dollar because you are competing with everybody else. So if you're thinking about selling, really now is the time to be doing so, and especially during the holidays.
Someone who has like multiple properties, right?
Yes.
Because if you are someone to where you don't have to have that kind of worry about, oh yeah, I don't want to be maybe thinking about being out of the house during the holiday. But if you have another property, or maybe you're looking to upgrade, it's a good chance, especially if you're not someone who, are thinking about that as a situation. So I never really thought about that, but it makes total sense. It's really logical and kind of basic when you think about it.
Right. Yeah, because you want to get ahead of all those other sellers. So doing so now before next year, and the pricing is still good out there. We're still seeing good prices out there. There's still buyers out there. I still have buyers that are wanting to get into homes right now. But we're still, like I said earlier, inventory is low. There's still not a lot of houses on the market. So right now still is a really, really good time to sell. And remember, what's the most important if you are going to be selling is pricing your home accurately the first time out of the starting gate. A little horse racing in there for you.
Yep. Breeders' Cup weekend, yeah.
Right, exactly. Because, a lot of sellers think they can get what their neighbor got 6 months ago. And that's not not the issue, or not the market right now. So it's so important to really know your market, what is going on right now, and pricing it according to the first time. Because you know what you don't want to see is pricing it too high. You don't get traffic to your house. You don't get anybody at your open houses. You're not getting any offers, and then now you've got to, you know, bring down your price. You know, and that's always such a hard thing, you know, for a seller to handle, you know, or to, you know, to accept. So like I said, pricing it the first time right is just so key. You know, the other thing is too, is making sure your home is market ready. You know, you've got great curb appeal, you've decluttered your home, you know, you fixed minor repairs maybe that you were putting off. Get those done, you know, before your house goes on the market. You know, if it needs to be staged, you talked about some of the vendors I can offer, that is one of them, staging, you know, and making sure you take professional photography. I actually have a great photographer I work with, you know what I mean? So all those things really help sell your house and bring it into the best light possible. So yes, now is a good time to still be selling.
And think about what she just said. She can do all of those things for you, connect you with all of those different people to make your life that much easier. You're not going to have to worry about doing that individually yourself, going out and taking the pictures, looking at the angles. These are people that do these things for you. They know exactly what they're going to do, right? It's not something that it's so stressed. It's one of the most stressful things is the whole relocating, moving, all of this stuff. And it's so nice as a full service realtor to see all of the things you can do, not only just the big stuff, but all of the things along the way. Heck, even if someone just wants to see, hey, how much is my home worth right now, right? Where do I stack up? Market analysis, that type of thing.
Right.
You're always looking to help let someone know, hey, here's where you are. Here's what the market looks like. This is where it's trending. Now is the right time to sell or to buy or to make a move.
Right. No, exactly, Gino. Yeah. And I do that all the time for clients. You know, you may not be ready to sell or buy right now, but especially selling right now, but you're thinking about it, you know, let me do a market analysis for you. It's free. It's easy for me to do, you know, and then you can make an informed decision on what you want to do, you know, and I can provide, you know, like, you know, nobody has a crystal ball of what's going to happen, but, you know, I can definitely say, here's what it was 6 months ago. Here's what it was 3 months ago. Here's what we are today. You know, I mean, like I said, and, you know, it just gives people more tools and more education to make the best informative decision they can. So with that good news, I also have good news for buyers. So it is still a good time to be buying. And because right now, especially during the holidays, as we were for sellers, there's less competition. A lot of buyers don't want to be buying right now because they don't want to be looking at houses because they are going out of town. They are going on family trips, or they just, you know what, we're just too busy with the holidays. We don't want to be out there. But guess what? If you are a buyer, now is a good time to be looking again because you are in less competition with other buyers out there.
So you're saying like the next 2 months in particular, right?
Yes.
Like leading into the new year?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and one of the other things we're seeing, you know, right now is we're not seeing the bidding wars, you know, that we saw back 6-9 months ago, you know. You know, we're also seeing where, you know, negotiations are a little bit more common, you know, with buyers, you know, I mean, so if you've got an appraisal that maybe it didn't come back at the price that you're going to be paying, you know, or maybe you had a home inspection, you know, on a home you purchased and there were some things wrong with it that you want to see fixed. Well, 9 months, a year ago, you couldn't ask for that. You had to take basically homes as is, you know, but now with the changing market that we're in, the cooling market that we're in, buyers actually have a little bit more negotiating power right now, which is really good for buyers right now. So, so there are some, like I said, there is some good news for buyers as well. One of the other topics, obviously, is it comes to mind actually because with the Feds yesterday raising rates yesterday a little bit. You know, where are the rates going? You know, everybody's worried about the rates. You know, you really shouldn't be worried about the rates right now. Yes, they are around 7, maybe a little more, and they kind of creep up there, you know, and obviously it depends on, you know, what your credit score is, you know, and how much you're putting down that determines, you know, what rate you're getting, you know, but, you know, the good news is with all loans out there is that there's good news here. And there's a lot of different programs. Like I was just talking to one of my lenders just about an hour ago, because there's, you know, everybody thinks there's just the normal loans out there. I'm putting 20% down, I'm getting this rate, or I'm putting 10% down, I'm getting this rate. Well, there's a lot of little behind the scene things that, we can do as agents and, lenders can do as lenders, and one of them she was telling me is that you can buy down your interest rates. There's a temporary way of doing it and there's a permanent way of doing it. And a lot of people that this is going to be a different way of getting an offer accepted and making it where the sellers are happy and the buyers are happy. So, if you are listening to this podcast and you're hearing this and you don't know about this, please reach out to me. I can put you in touch with my lenders and they can explain, some of the different programs out there that are a little different. They're a little out of the box than we're used to. But right now, to get people and to get buyers into homes, we are having to think a little creatively how to best help our clients. So whether that's the seller or the buyer.
And it doesn't matter what your interests are, what your field is. Everybody needs the home. This is information that is very, very important to everyone all over the place, like we said. And it's not right now that we're even talking specifically relevant market stuff to just Southern California. This is stuff that is relevant to you wherever you are. And like I said, if you just reach out to Cindy and, you try to get in contact with her to ask a few questions, that is why the information you're finding out right now, all these little things that she can help you with. She can save you a few dollars here. She can save you some time.
Yeah,
she can save you some energy, right? And that is what she is here to do, to make your life easier. Whether the times are great, maybe a year or two ago, things looked a little bit better, who knows? Or maybe like right now, it's going to be a little bit tougher, but it's not doom and gloom, right?
No,
there's reason to have
it's
optimism
still
on whatever side you're on.
Yeah, no, exactly. And, we kind of the meme that's been going around in the real estate world lately is, marry the house, date the rate. And basically that means, don't worry so much about the interest rate, because get into a house because you'd rather see your money going into your home, into something you own, than paying that rent to somebody else and putting money in the landlord's pocket, because we are hoping, yes, we are higher interest rates than we were a year ago, but we are hoping as time goes on, and the economy gets better, that rates are going to come back down. So, you can refinance your house. Just because you're in this rate right now, and maybe it's at too high of interest rate right now, we are hoping that in a year's time, rates are going to be a lot lower, and then you can refinance and take that break and get a better, interest rate. So that's what marry the house, date the rate means. And we're seeing a lot of that right now. Local market. I can tell you right now, in Glendora, I was just on the multiple listing service to see, between houses, condos, and townhomes, we've got about 77 homes for sale. That's it. 77. That is not very many at all. So, it's still a little better than it was a few months ago, but we are still, like I said, significantly low on inventory. So it is still a good time to buy and sell. And if any of the viewers or listeners out there are thinking about buying or selling, or like Gino said, just want to know what their home is worth, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to help everybody out there. No problem.
CindyCarava.com, CindyCarava.com. That's the website. And that's the command center, right? That's where they can find everything out there. Best way to get in touch with you, find some of the listings. You can also find reviews from some of her former clients on any of the sites, Yelp, Zillow, places like that have worked with her. And if you follow Cindy on social media, she does a great job. I love just the tidbits that you give out throughout the week, right? Just the little bits of information that are great reminders, because, you go through a week or two, everybody's busy. You've got your kids, you've got your family, you've got everything going on, and you maybe just something slips your mind, you forget about it. But if we're following you, you're just reminding us, you're giving us more aware of, hey, if you need help on this, or don't forget, this season's coming up now, they're changing. This might be something to do. I always think that's really interesting. And I think you provide really nice little helpers for people that follow along with you.
Oh, thank you, Gino. Yeah, I try to do as much, education as I can, because I think, the public, just needs those tools of understanding what's going on. whether it's in the market or terms. You'll see a lot of on my social media. I'll have, certain terms so people can understand what that means, so when they're going through this, because it is scary and it is overwhelming. And, and if you don't know the terminology or that we use, it can be a little overwhelming. So I try to, every once in a while, do a little tidbit about, what this word means or what this pertains to and stuff like that. So I hope that really helps people out there.
The reason why we do these are because you should not feel stupid asking any questions about this stuff at all.
No.
Especially when this is something that is so important and serious, dealing with like your home and a lot of your money. If you're not sure about something, just ask. That's all. Like, don't feel like it's something you should know or, oh, I'm supposed to know. Like, don't think that at all. That's why we're here. That's why we do these series of videos, just to make sure that everyone out there is as informed as possible before you make these big life-changing decisions, right? These are huge decisions that you're going to make a lot of the time, where you're going to move with you and your family, all the money that you put in, that you saved up, that you work for. You want to make sure that you're making the smart decision. And that's what Cindy will help you do. We'll go to the website, cindycarava.com. Anything else you want to mention before we get out of here, Cindy?
Nope. Just everybody have a fabulous day. And you can also call or text me. My number is 626-394-6400. Gino did mention my website and my email. So either of those three ways, you can get a hold of me. No problem. So anyway, have a great day, everyone.
If we don't talk before, we'll catch up with you again right after the new year. And we'll see how things have shifted. But if not, maybe we'll talk with you again. I know I'll talk with you again before then in the holidays coming up. So thanks so much. Tell the family and everybody hello, and we'll see you again real soon.
Great. Thank you, Gino. Have a great day.
Thanks so much, folks. We played this on social media. If you're watching it on either Twitter or Instagram or YouTube, Facebook, also was having it as a recording on the podcast. So if you were just listening to the audio version on the podcast, we have a lot more coming up on this episode of That's What G Said. So stay tuned.